blocks that we all know, resistance that we know is anxiety, fear of evaluation, defensiveness. People ignore problems, focus on other issues, create teams to study a problem. And this is typically the bureaucracy that big companies use to stop innovation and new ideas. Working inside the prevailing paradigm is secure, accepted, and well-rewarded way to do science. In fact, the paradigm gets so comfortable that scientists forget it's there and becomes functionally invisible. So we need to learn to manage uncertainty. Manage risk and uncertainty, and becoming a champion is very important. The behavior of an organization is the sum of the behaviors of the people in the organization. So how many times have you been in a meeting and somebody has an idea and they get locked down? We need to stand up, and if somebody has a different idea, a novel idea, then our behavior is very, very important to helping that innovation happen. If you want change to happen, if you want your innovation to happen, it requires vision, planning, competence, incentives, resources, and an action plan. If you're missing any one of these, it could result in confusion, suspicion, anxiety, a stall, a gradual change, or false starts. These are the critical elements to making change happen. Now, one of the things that we learned about was that innovators need to learn. And a learning organization, if you've got an organization that you're trying to get to innovate, you need to get them to learn. And so I'm going to ask you, how many business owners are here? This is the School of Entrepreneur. How many entrepreneurs we got in this room? Good, good, good. Okay, I'm going to ask everybody here, who's the most powerful person on a ship? Captain. What? Oh, somebody was in the Navy. Cook. Bursar. Woohoo. You're my first bursar. The navigator. How about the architect, the designer? If we look at the ships that we create and the companies that we're creating, as we look to try to be innovative, the most important person on the ship is the designer. It's that person that provides the organizational support for the innovation to make sure that you can identify your innovators and give them an opportunity to work. Now, I mentioned that whenever I give a lecture, I always want somebody to leave with something they can actually use. So what we're going to do is we're going to learn what's called a force field analysis. And so we'll do the first one together, then you guys get to do the second one. And basically what this is I've watched people get into analysis paralysis. I have a great idea. I have an innovation. I have to make it happen. I have to overcome resistance. I have to get funding. I have to make it happen. How do I do it? Well, what's everybody in a bureaucracy, a company? Oh, let's have a meeting. Let's have somebody go study it. Let's hire a consultant, and then it drags out and costs money. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a tool that will get rid of that analysis paralysis. So let's say the goal is to lose 10 pounds. I need to lose 10 pounds. So what I do is I put my resistors on the right and my drivers on the left. And if it's a little resistor, it gets a little arrow. If it's a big resistor, it gets a big arrow. So let's say a little resistor is I like Twinkies. How do you spell Twinkies? I love beer. I'm a couch potato. Okay, so I've identified the resistors. What's keeping me from losing 10 pounds? What's keeping me from making my innovation happen? What are some of the drivers? Well, Sweetie, we talked about incentives are important. Sweetie is going to take me to Hawaii, so aloha. So that's a driver. That's going to help me achieve my goal. So if I look at, and I need to fit into my blue jeans. That's another one, blue jeans. So if I want to make this happen, I need to overcome my resistors or add a whole lot more drivers. So now we've identified one of the resistors is my Twinkies. What am I going to do about the Twinkies? Veggies. Oh, thank you, God. Somebody told me rice cakes. That's like eating ceiling tiles. Okay, so veggies. Okay. Beer. Oh, no, light beer. Couch potato. Dance lessons. Okay. So, how long did it take me to figure out how to lose 10 pounds? 5 minutes, maybe? Okay. So now we're going to come up with an innovation. All right, anybody have an innovation? I heard somebody, your young man was working on power systems. Where's that power system, young man? There he is. Okay. Oh, 2 power systems. All right. They have a power system. I'm just going to put a power system. That involves just a power system. You know what? I'm not even going to do that. Anybody have an idea or an innovation they want to put down here? Build a new building. We're talking about a new building. Let's try that one. A new building for entrepreneurs here on the campus. What would be some of my resistors? Funding.
Space.
Space.
You already have one.
Funding.
Building.
Oh.
Public resistance.
What?
We've got 2 of everything in ground force.
Oh, okay. Redundancy, okay. All right, so let's look at how to, if this is something that you want to do, and funding and space is an issue, and we already have one, but it's full. Okay, all right. How do we overcome that? What do we do? What do we do for drivers?
Find something to move into this building.
Okay, so find another tenant. What do we do about funding? Raise money. Space.
Go vertical.
Go vertical. Smart. Okay, so here you can see, here's a simple tool, takes 5 minutes, and it eradicates analysis paralysis. You have a simple tool. If you have an idea, you have an innovation, you think it's absolutely insurmountable. And Lee Iacocca said something magic happens when you put things in writing. So this is one of the greatest tools I've ever seen to help people with a new idea. It's insurmountable obstacles. I'm like, great, just write the obstacles down, because once you get your resistors down and you understand what's driving it, all you have to do is figure out how to overcome these resistors and add more drivers, and you will move your innovation forward. And I'd like to leave the innovation portion of this before we get to our case study with a quote from Walter Zinn. He was the father of American nuclear science. And he said, "Go develop new things. Don't worry if you can't fill in the details or work out the supporting mathematics. There'll be plenty of people incapable of innovation who will follow behind you to work out the details and the mathematics." So now that we've got an overview of innovation, what is it? Why do you need it? How do you do it? We're going to go into a case study of innovation. And I'd like to start this out with, I am not an archaeologist. I'm not an anthropologist. I'm not a physicist. I mean, I watched The Mummy twice, but that's about the extent of my archaeology. But according to some pretty prestigious engineers, I figured out a viable methodology for building the megaliths of antiquity.